What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This is your review for Family or Fiance Season 2, Episode 6. So this is Tiffany and Fred. So let's talk a little bit about Tiffany and Fred. Tiffany and Fred have been together for 6 years. They met at work. Um, Now a couple of things came up in their first conversation with Tracy. First, Tiffany talked about how he proposed to her. She said she was taking him on a cruise for his birthday, and it was I want to say like a week-long cruise, and he proposed that first night. And so she said she almost felt like she was forced to say yes, or it would have made the whole trip awkward. And at first I was like, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, that was a little messed up and da 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 da. But then the flip side of it, I thought about it. I said, engagements generally are, I mean, that one wasn't a public engagement, but I think about public engagements, and I always think about people get put on the spot. Like, you almost have to know the person gonna say yes. People get proposed to at baseball games, out in public, at restaurants, and things like that. And so I don't feel, because I feel like they were trying to build a narrative about him being manipulative, because then it was this other thing where they were talking to Tracy and he leaned up and he kind of got in Tracy's, I guess she felt like he was in her personal space, but made it seem like, that he's just this womanized and he flirts without knowing it and he's manipulative. That's how I took it. But then when I thought about it, I was like, I don't feel like he was being manipulative. I felt like he wanted to sort of have a 2-for-1 type situation. Like, I proposed to her the first night we're here, and then the rest of the trip is a celebration of our love. But I don't know him well enough to say what his intention was, but I didn't automatically jump to that conclusion. But I feel like that's the narrative they were trying to build. But anyway, so the people that we have coming is pretty much the same people on both sides. Tiffany's mom is coming, her best friend, and a cousin. And her brother, excuse me. And then on Fred's side, same thing. His mom, his best friend, and his brother. But what I found interesting is that it almost seemed like his brother and his best friend were sort of Team Tiffany. And poor Fred only had his mama. Now, one of the things that came up in the blessing ceremony, everybody got there, yada, yada, yada. Ain't nothing ridiculous happened in that moment. But when they got done and they were asking what your problems are, some of the things that came up was his drinking. The fact that he drinks a lot, and they think that contributes to a lot of their relationship issues. Of course, there's been some infidelity that happened almost at the beginning of their relationship. The infidelity started, which led to a lot. People don't understand how much of a process it is to regain trust when there's infidelity. And that's why a lot of times it's hard to let that go, because it's hard to get that trust back. Me and you in a relationship, and you say, I'm going to go play ball with the boys, and I don't think twice about it because you're going to play ball with the boys. But then you get caught cheating. Then it's well, are you really going to play ball with the boys? Who you going with? Who going to be there? What basketball court y'all going to? When y'all going? When y'all get done? When you getting home? Because you're turning me into a person that I am not. Because now I have to question everything that comes out of your mouth. And that becomes a hard process to fix. So this happened early on in their relationship. And it seems like Tiffany has had a really hard time getting over it because he's a flirt. And that doesn't help. And she's caught him a few times, but, saying things inappropriate to some ladies and things like that. So that's really, really hard for them to do. So the two tasks were the Tower of Truth and 20 questions, but like beer pong style. So the brother, I'm sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. Tiffany's brother basically was like, bro, I don't even know you. I just want to know you. Like, I don't know nothing about you, and probably whatever he has heard ain't been good. Like, I just want to get to know you and just want to see if you're really good enough for my sister. Her mother, Tiffany's mother, was just like, listen, I love you as a person. I don't love you with my daughter. I just don't think that y'all right for each other. Her best friend was like, listen, I believe y'all love each other. I just don't think y'all are in love. And there's such a difference. My God. Anyway, so they get ready to play. Well, they're doing their task. So Tiffany is doing the task with his family. And one of the things that his mother said was that she feels like he needs therapy. Like the drinking is a problem. But she feels like he's using that to sort of mask his pain. She said from the time when he was in the military, he had a very traumatic situation where one of his really close friends was killed in his arms, and he never got therapy for it. And so I almost feel like his mother's like, listen, my son's dealing with a little bit of PTSD. He's coping using alcohol and stuff to cope, and he does need help. And in that moment, I was like, ding, 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 ding. Yes, this is what this sounds like. Again, I ain't nobody's therapist, and I only know a snapshot of what they showing me of these people. But that's exactly what that sounds like to me. That constant drinking. Because on the other side, one of the questions that was asked was, how much have you had to drink today? And he was like, well, all I do is drink beer all day. Why do people act like beer can't get you drunk? Why do people act like beer is like can't make you an alcoholic? I mean, I know we use the word alcohol, but like I have a cousin who every year for Lent he gives up alcohol, but he don't give up beer. I was like, so you still drink beer, but you don't drink hard liquor. Okay. So it's like, and I'm not saying he's an alcoholic. I'm just saying, you find in the loophole. Because in my mind, that's a loophole. And so when he made it seem like, I mean, all I drink is beer all day, I was like, ding, 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 ding. Houston, we have a problem because beer is still a problem. And it can get you drunk and it can make you belligerent. There's some drunks who never drink alcohol, but they just as much of an alcoholic as the person who drinks a fifth of Jack Daniels every day. Okay? Ooh, a fifth every day. Oh my God, you'd be dead. Anyway, so then they brought up the infidelity. And they were like, well, how many times have you cheated? And he was like, once. And her mother was like, no, let's be clear. You cheated with one person, but it was an ongoing situation. So let's not make it seem like it happened. It was a one and done. You were messing around with this woman for months. So then they were like, how many times did you sleep with her? And he lied, talking about some 2 or 3 times. That's bullshit. There's nowhere in the world that you only slept with this woman. You've been dealing with her for months. She was your side chick for months. And y'all slept together 2 or 3 times. So, the mother was like, well, I'm not sure. His mother was like, her mother was like, well, you making it seem like it wasn't a big deal. You making it seem like it wasn't, and he was like, well, he was like, well, I mean, that was months ago. Like years ago. Y'all bringing up stuff that happened years ago. But it's clearly still a problem. So then she said, so then she brought up, dang, I lost my train of thought. Then she brought up the mother. Then the mother brought up, she said he cheated 2 or 3 times. Damn it. I done lost my whole train of thought. Shoot. Anyway, that's how the whole conversation went. And he just seemed to be real nonchalant about the situation. Oh, they asked him why, well, what made you cheat? Like, what was going on? And he said, well, I just wasn't happy financially at the time, just wasn't happy in my relationship at the time, and I just did it. And the mother was like, you just seem like you don't care. Like, you just really taking it like real nonchalant. And on one hand, I feel where he's coming from. Like, listen, it happened 3 years ago. It's not something that's recent. We worked through it. In his mind, we worked through it. Why do I have to keep rehashing it? But the problem is, and this is what people don't understand, the people on the other side aren't acting that way out of nothing. If my friend is dating a guy and when they first started dating, he cheated on her, but they've been together now for 6 years, and for the last 4 years of that relationship, everything has been great. There hasn't been any problems. There haven't been any relapses. There haven't been, and when I say everything is great, I don't mean perfect, but no more dealing with infidelity. The trust was rebuilt. He basically proved himself. She hasn't had no feelings or thoughts that there's anything inappropriate going on. Here's the reality of the situation. I don't even think about that no more. I don't go back to, well, he did cheat on her, because it's out of my mind. But the problem is the fact that her mother is still thinking about it, the fact that her best friend is still thinking about it, is because she's still talking to them about it. I promise you. We don't get this stuff out of nowhere. I told y'all this before. My sister used to always get mad at me because I ain't never liked none of her boyfriends. And she was like, you don't never get him a chance. You don't never. I said, all you tell me is the bad. What opinion am I supposed to have of them? Because you don't call me when he buy you flowers. You don't call me when he surprises you with a date night. You call me when he pissed you off. You call me when he did something stupid. So that's all I know. So now you have the mother and you have the best friend, and now it's sort of a this is all I know situation. So anyway, they got ready that night. I mean, they had dinner that night, and the dinner looked good. Listen, one thing I say about these families coming together, they sure know how to cook. Because whatever they be stocking in them refrigerators be enough for them to make some good-ass meals, honey. Them meals be looking good. It looked good. Whatever they had that night, they had some scrimps, and anyway, it looked good. So they got, of course, they talking about the task and what had happened down to the task and stuff. And ultimately, it seems like everybody was sort of coming down on Fred. That's how Fred felt. And Fred's mother felt like she needed to defend him. Listen, that's his mama. His mama is going to defend her baby, especially if she feel like, listen, this is 4 against 1 or 5 against 1. Hell, like I said, even his own brother and best friend seemed to be Team Tiffany. So I understand where the mama was coming from and saying, hold up, players. Y'all gonna back up off my baby. Like I felt where she was coming from. So Tiffany ends up getting up and sort of runs off like, you always defending him. You always, no matter what he does, that's his mama. Like, that's what she gonna do. But we did find out later on that she did tell Tiffany, leave him. So, like, I feel like she defends her son, but she knows who her son is. And she told Tiffany, listen, I love you, but you need to leave him. So my thing is, Tiffany, what else you want from this woman? She giving you all she can give you. She is giving you all that she can afford to mentally process and give you, ma'am. Anyway, so they go to that. So her friends come and check on her, and while her friends is checking on her, his boys is talking to him, and his boys is trying to get him to understand, listen, you got to start taking some accountability. You have to start accepting your fault in this, and you've got to let people express themselves and be true to where they are and how they feel in this situation. So the next morning they go to talk to Tracy, and they're telling Tracy how everything went, and Tracy says, listen, y'all need some get back to you time. Y'all need to sit down, y'all need to have a date night, and y'all need to really talk. And Fred, you need to really hear her and hear what she's saying while Tiffany is talking. Like, don't listen to respond, listen to understand. And the task was that the guys had to help him put the meal together, and the ladies had to help her find the perfect romantical place and set it up and decorate it and everything. And so they had themselves a nice little date night. And they talked, and basically what he agreed to was that he would go get some therapy. He agreed that he knew he needed some help, and that he would go get therapy and work on himself so that he could come and they could be the perfect whole that they needed to be. He said, so that the next morning when they checked in with Tracy, he said that, he really had only planned to listen to Tiffany, but Tiffany was asking him some very important questions that he had to respond to. And he did, again, I still think there were times when he wasn't fully understanding what she was saying and where she was coming from. Now the mamas had a good conversation, and that's when Fred's mama said, listen, I told Tiffany leave him. And Fred, Tiffany's mama was like, listen, I like Fred, I just don't think that this is a good match. Like, I just I just can't, I feel like he's gonna hurt my daughter, and I just can't be a party to that. So then they go down for their blessing ceremony, and child, don't nobody get them their blessing. I mean, it went around the room and ain't nobody get them their blessing. They was like, no, y'all not ready. Like, I'm glad that you're going to go to therapy. I'm glad that you're seeking out some help, but not ready. I ain't ready to give you no blessing. Not yet. Nope, not now. So they say, listen, we've postponed the wedding, because the wedding has already been postponed twice. They said, we're putting it on hold. We're going to reset. He's going to go to therapy, and we're going to take it from there. then why this fool gonna get down on one knee and basically propose to her again, talking about we are here for the reset? Why everybody was looking at him like, what the fuck? It's almost like he didn't understand nothing that they said. Like, again, it took me back to the beginning where now you're putting her on the spot. So now I'm back to agreeing with where Tracy was coming from the beginning. Like, you basically created a situation where you putting her on the spot now. Because why would you do that? Like, y'all, I felt like y'all was all on the same page and y'all had agreed that you was going to do this, and that. Like, what are we doing here? Child, anyway. So, that's what it was. Y'all let me know what y'all think. The thing at the end, the little update at the end said that they still on hold. You know, they still not together. You know, that he has gone to therapy though, so that's a good thing. And I guess we'll see. Hopefully they'll do a check-in with them and see where they are now, child. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.